refresh, see if that fixes it. Everybody else should probably refresh as well.
Yeah, nope.
This
You're
is
back.
what happens when you stream, folks. Sometimes you get bit.
Yeah.
It's working for me now.
Alright, looks like I got it too, yeah. Just had to refresh. I'm going to post that in chat. Refresh if Twitch is twitching.
Refresh if Twitch is bitching and not in the good way.
Yeah, that too. Alright, so we're finally back again. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I made sure you didn't miss anything. So they're on this airship. Vol about tied herself to the mast, and the doctor says, well, that's not a good idea. You'll wind up not being able to escape in case we fall to our imperiled death. And walked away. And then, Shella just offered to help. But, you hear the sound of chains unleashing as the ship retracts its anchors. And then eventually the ship kind of like lurches forward for a moment. And for those who've, well, I mean, all of you haven't been on an airship before, let's just do a general dexterity saving throw just to see how we land on our sea legs in this instant. Oh, Christopher, your excitement. Jack, your excitement. Arthur's good. Vol's good. I mean, Vol's tied.
Bad one.
Yeah. All right. And okay, yours isn't too bad. It was Kronk I was looking at. So Kronk and Jack, I mean Kronk especially being top heavy, right? Like nothing really ever forces Kronk to kind of like lose his balance because he's very center heavy, you know what I mean? But as the ship lurches, you find yourself falling backwards on your shell, and now you're on your back for whatever reason. You're like, what happened? And Jack, you just kind of like lost your balance, not expecting that kind of lurch. Like you thought it would be smoother, or you thought it wouldn't affect you, but the motion of the ship just kind of like catches you off balance, and you fall to your knees, and you have to catch yourself. But you're on the ground, prone at the moment, both of you. Easily to get up from, no damage taken, but it just catches you off ground, while the rest of your friends are either tied to the mast or just able to keep their balance. I guess I should roll for Shella too, right? Hold on, let me get her done real quick, and then I'll be able to finish this little narrative, right? Oh yeah, she's a boss. It's like, Kronk, you want me to help you up?
Always accept help.
So Shella grabs you by one hand and she starts spinning you on the back of your shell, thinking she's trying to get you to your feet, but you're just spinning in your shell for a moment. Okay, Kronk, we have a problem. I can't seem to get vertical with you.
Hold on, Shella, let me assist.
Alright, with you and Shella, you're both able to kind of like get Kronk to his feet, and Jack, you're able to get back to your feet, and you guys feel the wind picking up as the ship starts to head upward and outward out of the west side of Shandor. In about 10 seconds. Like, it would take you maybe a minute to get there on carriage, right? This ship is already passing the gate. And yeah, you guys have a bird-eye view of the exterior area of the realm at the moment.
Christopher at this point is at the railing looking out. It's like, it really does feel like we're flying.
Oh, well, that's because we are. You hear from the cabin.
Kronk's gonna be beside the railing with his spear and rope in hand.
Yeah, and yeah. What are you looking for anything in particular?
Fish.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check, and roll a natural 20 so we can make this as silly as possible.
Oops, wrong one. Doesn't matter though.
Oh.
All right, no
That's a
silliness for Rod. Oh, you rolled.
Well, hold on. You rolled persuasion and performance.
I really hit that.
Yeah.
Okay, my perception is higher.
Okay. Should I give him advantage for shits and giggles?
Do it.
Do it.
Please, we need to know.
All right, you need to know. Not a fish per se, but maybe it looks like a fish at first. But there's like a snake-like serpent that's like floating in the air, and it comes close to the ship, and the ship starts to fly by it, and it's like directly below you, Kronk. What do you do?
I'm looking for it. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on.
And I'm actually looking for the airship that I have for Professor Smithers' mine. Okay, you hit, and you hear a loud ah. This one is not pleased as you kind of like pull it up.
Kronk, I believe that's a
Christopher,
bit.
Christopher probably recognizes this creature, doesn't he?
Probably. I'm sure I
Yeah.
used it once or twice already. Hold
You
on.
did.
How do you spell it again? I gotta
Uh,
find its token.
I
C O
believe
U
starts
or
with COA.
COA? Yeah, that's probably what's throwing me off. COAT. Not that, but No, we're both wrong. Hold on, I'll go to
Or
monsters
maybe
and see
I'm
if I
thinking of the spelling of like the actual creature in mythology.
Yeah. Let me find it real quick. I'll use Celestial, I believe it was. Might be able to find it that way. Last time I checked, I think it was actually around here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
C-O-U-A-T-L.
In D&D, it is spelled with a U.
Yeah, okay, so that's what threw me off.
Yeah, because I remember Quetzalcoatl, which
Yeah. Yeah, this winged snake kind of like gets pulled up from you, Kronk, now that I have its information just in case. And are you trying to grab it? Is that what that athletics is for?
Yep.
Alright, I'll try to resist.
it's like
It squirms out of your hand, but it kind of like floats there. It's like, whatever. Oh, hold on. I gotta actually read up on what he said before. Like, I have his info. Wow, I mean, I am definitely going back far, guys. Where is that? That would be under... I am me. That's its name. He goes, I am me wishes to be free. What is the meaning of this?
oh dear, Kronk, please let that one go.
I am Kronk. I was hoping for some fish.
Oh, hey, you want fish? And to be honest, you're not seeing its mouth move. You're hearing it in your head.
I like fresh food.
The coddle will cast create food and water, and there's like a whole bunch of fish that kind of like spills out on the floor before you.
Are they like live where I have to scramble to grab some?
Uh,
Or
okay, so it's 45 pounds of fish. Enough to sustain 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten.
okay, so it's like dead fish, so I don't have to like
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
grab it?
like, yeah, you can. I'll put it to you this way: do you want it fresh, or do you want it like fresh dead, or do you want it pre-cooked?
Fresh dead. Is
All right, so
probably
it's
what he would
freshly
expect.
dead, so that you can work with it and add spices and make it feel better, right? So you say you want fish, and he like obliges, and there's like a whole assortment of like catfish that are laying down before you, and other types of fish that you would find in streams and lakes nearby. And the
Kronk's
coddles,
making sushi.
yeah, and the coddle says, "Now will you let me go?" He's like, your spear is still kind of like protruding from it.
Kronk's gonna try to help him out.
All right, so you help him out, and he tells you, "I am me. Thanks you so much for this." And you kind of like patch him up, and he's like, "Oh, thank you."
I'm sorry I did not know you were a thinking creature.
To be fair, I did not know there would be a flying ship with a turtle on it.
I've only been up here for a couple minutes. It is
That's
very
amazing.
interesting.
It's almost like our meeting has fate. though it still hurts.
I again apologize.
I will accept your apology.
So, since apparently he can't hear anything that is being said to Kronk, it's like,
Yeah.
so are you all right?
This creature is saying he is very hurt, so I'm letting him go.
After all the fish appeared on the deck of the ship.
Actually, I guess like how much damage did the spear actually do?
Not really enough to hurt him. Like he's a tough.
Okay.
He's tough. Like he's got some health to him. But just the fact that I allowed him to spear him and bring him in. So the snake-like creature kind of like shimmers for a moment and just kind of like points its face towards Christopher and says, "Yes, this one seems to have aided me, yet though also assailed me at the same time, but I feel like he is worthy of forgiveness."
So, yes, he's very simple in that way. I suppose he was looking for. Looks down toward this ground.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what he was looking for. Birds?
Oh, he told me he was seeking fish, yet this ship is in the air, not in the sea. It's a little odd, but I figure I'd oblige him for his forgiveness since he did apologize so profusely. I am me, by the way.
Yes, I've met one of your kind before.
Oh, splendid.
So they were very helpful, all things considered.
Well then, I am glad that my kin were able to help you, just as I am able to help you today.
So Krunk does seem very pleased with himself as he's probably looking at Krunk like collecting all the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Making sushi.
Absolutely, have fun with that. So yeah, the snake-like creature will... Well then, this one must be on its way, if you don't mind.
Oh yes, my apologies for the disturbance.
I am pleased. Fear not. And he flutters off into the air and heads out into the distance. Apparently you're spearfishing in the sky. It's not unnoted. It has produced 45 pounds of fish. That was the biggest catch that you probably had in a while.
Well, I mean, he goes fishing by walking underwater, so his
Yeah,
technique's not great.
Right. Like, this is your biggest haul, to be honest, right? 45 pounds. But yeah. So that happened. And the professor kind of like looks out. It's like, why is there fish on the ship? That we're not on water. Oh, wait, there's no sharks over there, are there? He kind of like rushes out and looks over the stern and tries to look down at the what looks like a square box attached to the side of the ship. Quick! Do you see any sharks down there?
Gonna look
No,
over.
there aren't any sharks.
Good. That means it's working. And he walks back to the.
Wait, why are you concerned about sharks?
For some reason, they keep
Are there
getting
flying
stuck in the
sharks?
engine every time I go into ports. It's very annoying. So I put some deterrent in there. Now they should not want to go in there anymore.
Where does
Sure.
one even acquire shark repellent?
Christopher, you gotta understand, it's the professor. He probably made it.
Out
And
of
he made
bad
a
shit, to be
flying
honest.
ship.
It's amazing what you can do with guano.
I suppose I never would have thought that bats would be the solution to repelling sharks.
Well, you know what, to be fair, anything that smells like shit is definitely not worth going near. Unless you're a parasite, then that's something to discover on its own. Anyways, how are you all enjoying the ride? And the ship kind of like lurches towards the left like it's making a U-turn back to the city.
Just we're clear, Professor. This can sail in both the air and on the water, if need be.
Oh, yes, I could definitely park it in the water if necessary.
Good to know.
Would you like to know how it works? I'll be more than happy to show you later.
Sure, you can show me later.
Fair enough. By the way, it's good to see you again, Jack. What brings you this way?
Oh, well, it's mostly them have business here, and while I'm here, I might as well deal with Brutus and company.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time.
Do you know what he and Kenan and the rest of the group they made up is doing?
I honestly couldn't tell you. No, about the best I could tell you is maybe they finally got captured and nobody's wanted to see them ever again.
I doubt he'd be the type to allow himself to get captured.
You're probably right, but that's my hope.
Yeah, I'm deciding whether I should try to talk to him or just, if he's still out there, capture him myself.
Did you leave on bad terms or anything? Like, was it a clean break?
No, I kind of just left.
I
Don't
don't know.
really
I think
say
you might
word.
think that he might not be too friendly in that case. I mean, the most social standards would say like what you did was betrayal in his eyes, so you might want to be careful of that kind of psychological thinking.
That's true. I did think about maybe bringing something to his attention. Something I'm gonna bring to your attention once we land.
Yeah, and as this conversation's carrying on, you guys kind of like look down and you can see like a square cube with two legs walking across the floor with a eyes and mouth piece on it, and it's just kind of like walking around patrolling the top of the ship. Well, we'll be back in
Apparently not.
just a moment and we can definitely talk about this further.
Vol.
Is it safe for me to open my eyes now?
Oh my God, Vol.
Wait,
yes,
you're-
you can open your eyes.
Still tied up to the thing, kind of like. It's kind of like, okay, good. I don't know how things fly. That's kind of why I'm not expecting it.
I am trying to remember how to spell Modron. What the hell, D&D?
You'll get it.
No, I'm not. You know what? I'll Google it. I bet I'll find the word that way.
Like Megatron.
Modron. Like, I put that and it's not... What would... Okay, it's probably...
No, I was joking.
No,
and spelling
no,
Megatron.
no. It is labeled
Modron?
differently. Okay, there's like different types of them, right? So I have to go with what they are, right? So it's like, what, a quadrone? I don't know. Is that what it
Quadron
was?
might be the closest thing.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a picture for you guys to look at. To show you what this...
Oh! That might be the closest spelling, actually.
Yeah, you have to go after the... Not the actual word Modron, but you have to actually go after what type they are. So, like, this is what it kind of looks like.
Arthur's
Okay.
right. It is a monodron. But that works too.
No, monodron is one eye, or like, yeah, they're different types: monodron, quadrone, duodrone, pentadrone. Yeah, but they're modrons, is what they are. But apparently, you can't just look up modrons in the thing because that's not what's there. But anyway, this square-looking contraption with this kind of facial, kind of like marches around, just kind of like patrolling the area.
Perfect. What is this thing?
Oh, that's my Steel Defender. Why do you ask?
Just curious about why it was walking around.
Oh, I got it on patrol mode right now.
Huh.
Never know, might
Professor.
find a stowaway. Well, yes, yes.
That kind of brings up a point. Why did you make an airship?
What? That shouldn't even be a question you dare ask me. I mean, why wouldn't I make an airship?
No, I mean, like, what are you gonna use it for?
Oh, transportation, logistics, that kind of thing. Like, you know how much trouble it is to get to one place to the other?
Yeah,
I mean, sure, we could use teleport, but when are you going to find a wizard that has that much gusto to be helpful? I mean, have you seen Elverina lately? She's been in a bad mood.
Elverine. Is that the one with the magic shop?
Oh, you've met her.
Jack, we literally met her
Unfortunately.
just earlier. She
Yeah.
introduced herself.
Yeah,
She's
she
not.
kind of pointed a.
Yeah, she's not
She's
quite
not-
queen. She's not quite keen on the objectiveness of scientific discoveries and creating things with the ingenuity of using a piece for another piece and to create a second piece. You know, like combining items and making sure they could become accumulated into something more powerful without using all that magic hoodoo.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of on bad terms with her right now.
Oh, that's a damn shame. She has a lot of good ingredients and a lot of wands that you can use if you need new weapons and stuff made. But I try to keep it on a download when I'm in there. She knows that I'm not there to piss her off. And, you know, you just got to treat her with respect because magic is definitely something that works. So you can't complain with something that actually does something.
Well, at least I'm on good terms with the lady at the formal clothing shop.
Ah, yes. What was her name? Evelyn, I believe it was. She's very nice. I totally agree.
Yeah, she seems to like me a lot, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, you know, she is frisky with a tape measure. You just got to be careful with that kind of thing.
Duly noted.
The
Oh, boy, Vol, I'm gonna need you to come with me.
yeah, the
if I go back
airships.
to that shop.
The airship does slowly start to drift back into the city, and you guys can definitely see the bird's eye view of the tavern from where you are, the noble district as it pulls up further north, and then eventually we see the manor where Professor Smithersmon's house resides. And the chains spill out from the out corners of the ship, land into locking positions, and reattach to something at the bottom of the ground. Like there's also like the assistants who are making sure the ship is secured. The ship lowers itself just enough, and then that floating disc comes back up, and the professor steps out from behind the wheel as the ship kind of like is in a stasis at the moment, just kind of like floating there in this one spot. Well then, I hope everybody enjoyed the trip. How was it for everyone?
So I know
Wasn't much.
I enjoyed myself, but just kind of like looks over at Vol.
Are we on the ground yet? I don't think I want to like the sky. You can just see, she's not happy.
Meanwhile, Shella's like putting 5 or 6 spools of knots around it, trying to help you. She seems really attached to this mass, so I thought it'd help.
Shella, no, that's not a
What?
good idea.
It's done. She's not going anywhere.
Well, now we need her to go. So, God damn
Oh,
it.
oh, sorry, but she looked like she was doing it herself, so I just helped. Fine, I'll try to. Oh, Vo? Vo?
Yes, Shella, are we down there? Are we down
I-
there?
I got good news and bad news. What would you like first?
Possibly the good news.
Well, you're not going anywhere. I mean, like, you're
The
really
bad-
attached. Bad news is I can't unattach you. These knots are really tight.
Demand a dexterity check to see how well she timed the rope?
Are you demanding that from me? She had time. I'm going to give her advantage.
I'm just curious. Even if with advantage,
Okay,
I'm just
I
curious
just-
how
I-
well
I
she
just
did
would-
it.
Yeah, like she put about 5 to 10 knots into this rope. There you go. Wiggle, wiggle. There's barely any room for you to wiggle.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
If we're back down, I'd like to get down now.
Yeah,
Someone want to help?
that's part of the bad news. Oh, I know.
Looks.
I'll cast Firebolt on it. Let me just do that.
Wait,
Uh,
Shella,
Whoa.
maybe we shouldn't set flames to.
Oh. Wait. Uh, what if I use wind?
Shella, how about I just step in here?
Woof. Okay, go ahead. What do you want to do?
He's going to move Shaw all the way and just start working on the knots. If he
And you
has to,
could-
he's cutting it.
Yeah. As you start working on the knots, we see Shella drop into a stance that's familiar to what Vol and her have been practicing, and she's trying to use her steps to kind of like walk the way of the wind. But yeah, if you want to try to undo these knots, give me a dexterity check.
Just flat, or am I allowed to do sleight of hand?
No, I don't play with sleight of hand on this. All right, you're struggling with the knots.
Yeah.
And she just kind of like whiffs the wind around, and then we see like 6 different tears along the rope just form, like something like a wind cutter just kind of like sliced into them, and the ropes slide off eventually. And hey, it worked.
falls on the ground, just making sure that she doesn't move. It's like, where do I go? Where do I go to get off this ship?
There's a floating disc over there that we got to get back
Holds to the
on.
disc.
Oh, by the way, it's up in the air too. Be careful, don't look down.
Oh god!
Constitution saving throw.
For real?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Okay.
If you're gonna be
Let's
scared
see.
of heights, I'm gonna make sure you have that check.
Suffering vertigo.
Okay, like you feel a hurl inside your stomach, like the whole realization of where you are and how high up you are, but you're good. You're good. You got it. You kept it down. You're fine. You can do this. You got it. You psych yourself up, and then you just wait for everybody to get on the disc. Everybody takes their sweet slow time in your mind, and then we eventually get on the disc. And of course, Kronk, you can continue to make your sushi off the ship. You know, you got to take everything down there with you so you can finish. You know. And then as you like bring all of your supplies down, we all land back on the ground, safe and sound. Vol being the first one to jump right off the disc and onto dry land.
Sweet, sweet ground, I missed you.
Huh. Could be really weird when we cast fly on you. And she walks away.
Looks at her and just like crawls away. Nope, not thinking about it. Not thinking about it.
Alright. The professor... Oh, I was going to show you around, but I completely forgot, Jack. Let's call it for tomorrow. How's that sound?
That's fine. Oh, I do want to leave something with you.
Mhm.
Maybe you can figure this out. I'm gonna pull out the blood bloom recipe and heading over to him.
Oh, what's this you found here? And he'll start examining it.
I got this over in Parinthia, from a witch's place. I guess she found a way to extract blood bloom, put it into a vial, and when you throw it, it does quite a bit of damage. It has
Oh,
about
this-
the radius of a...
Yeah, this seems like a very mundane way to be using it.
Yeah, well, this is an imperfect recipe. I guess she was still trying to figure it out. I figured you'd be the one to perfect it.
Oh, this just won't do at all. Oh, interesting. This makes sense. We could do something like that. And he's just spitting out random nonsense, saying like he's got all these ideals that he's forming just by looking at it. Oh, yes. Now, I wonder if my other friend can help me decipher this ideal a little bit closer. He did have an interest in blood blooms too, I think.
I do have one vial of blood bloom extract, though I do warn you, if you break it, or I bet even open it, it will go off and it'll hurt if not kill you. And
Oh
I
yes,
take out the
most
vial.
definitely. We would not want to do that. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and take a look at it. And he'll look at the vial if you hand it over and just kind of like examine it. Oh yes, this would be very interesting to show and tell. That's for damn sure.
So, Professor, I did somewhat overhear the conversation, but just to be clear,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't in any way encountered a kobold named Prod? Like,
Oh,
never
no,
came by
no,
your
not at
door or
all.
anything?
Not one bit. Well, should I be expecting a prod? And we see
So-
Shella kind of like dejected.
As well, apparently, at the very least, this kobold was looking for some sort of professor. So,
Huh.
and it appears that your name has some recognition even in another continent. So,
Oh yes, by all
Uh,
means. I do all kind of research in different places. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if my name spread across Timor, Parenthia, Citadel Kingdom. No, stay away from that place. That place is hell.
I don't know. Perhaps we were mistaken on the name. Are there any others that that perhaps you would be familiar with that maybe they encountered instead?
Are we talking kobolds or something else?
No, like maybe. I mean, I suppose if they were looking for a professor to learn from, I suppose
Oh,
maybe someone who else works in your field, perhaps.
I mean, the only other person that I know of is a doctor, but he's more into medical research, more often than not, but he does expand his studies to other phenomenons. I think these blood blooms might be a project I actually talk to him about and see if he's interested in developing something.
Like turns to Shella. I don't know. Do you think your friend would have made a mistake and found this other one instead?
I don't know. Do we want to find out who this person is and meet him? I mean, but he
Well,
just might have not made it yet. That's a long way to travel for a kobold. And we had that nice lady just take us here in an instant.
Well, to be fair, we have connections. I don't think Prod had similar connections for
Yeah, that's the
instant
problem.
teleportation.
So he probably still in the ocean, floating around like a little rock. Oh, he must be so scared. Sure wish there was a way we could check on him.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to help knowing whoever this doctor's name is, just to, get an idea of, because we're not going to go all based on doctor, because otherwise we'll be sent to every single surgeon in the area.
I mean, most people here who are in the medical profession don't naturally become actual doctors. They are usually clerics, if you recall. But, whenever you put your own scientific methods into your medicinal research, you become a doctor in that point. So the field is still new to those who are still learning our arts as an artificer.
Still, if we had a name to go with it, at least if we asked people around, they'd point us in the right direction.
I mean, are you asking me for his name? I just like to call him Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna keep looking for this one kobold, then we ought to at least know the name, so people know who the hell we're talking
Are you
about.
well, I believe his name is Soroboro. I believe that's how he pronounces it.
Soroboro.
Yeah, something like that. Soroboro. It has a nice little ring to it, kind of like slithers off the tongue, almost snake-like. Soroboro.
It's just, slithers off the tongue. I don't know. It's just, sorry, Professor. It's just the way you said that just made me think of some other person I've been hunting down. I mean, it's more personal than even Brutus.
Oh, well, who are you hunting? Maybe I can help.
A Yanti by the name of Genome or something.
Genome. Every time I talk to this Yanti, he calls himself Dr. Soroboro. So, I keep it professional. I keep it by the first name. So I can't tell you if it's the same doctor or not.
T.
You
Okay.
said that they were a friend, correct?
Oh,
So
yes,
would
they
you
are a
happen to
really
know where
good friend.
their usual haunt?
Oh, they actually have a guild here in town, but I believe they're out on an adventure at the moment. So it might be some time before we even see them return. Meanwhile, we flash over to Dark and Naga, and then we flash back here.
Hmm.
Ah,
So
I know.
that
You
is...
could probably go ask Shishay.
Oh, we talked to her earlier today. You also know
Oh,
her?
yes, Shishay's actually their secretary. Why, what a small world this is. You get to meet the people that you need to know. How about that? It's almost like the DM put them there for some reason for you to meet. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
is it?
I do suppose it would... Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead. Save me
So,
from
well, I
my
do
voice.
suppose that does facilitate things a bit. If nothing else, we could perhaps, especially since if they're going to be gone for a while, we could at the very least put our names in
Oh,
so that we could
absolutely.
be contacted for any other
Oh,
reason.
yeah. Yes. I do plan on going over this with him. He is a very sharp-minded individual, and I do enjoy hearing his feedback. It's definitely refreshing to have someone with that intelligence to bounce ideas back and forth. We do have like brainstorming sessions from time to time. If you're interested, Jack, maybe I could set up our next brainstorming situation and we can all get together and see what happens. Maybe we can figure this out together. Or are you still too busy bounty hunting?
I mean, that kind of depends on when this little get together would be. I gotta work around these numbskulls.
I will say this, Jack. Seeing you bounty hunt using these skills for such a thing, it's kind of a double-edged sword to me. Like, I'm proud that you're able to apply it, but I'm sad that you have to use it for such things. Does that make sense?
In a way, I understand. Yeah, I get you. But
Well,
to be honest, Professor, bounty hunting. I chose the profession because I thought it was the easiest and quickest way, and the most surefire way to not get a bounty on my head. That's why I left. I didn't want to get a bounty on my head. I was afraid of it, and I left in a hurry. And the best way to hide from bounty hunters is to become one.
well, that's one way to solve that problem. Another way would probably be treat people the way you would want to be treated. But I know how you can be a little callous around the whole exterior there. I'm sure it's just you being protective of yourself. At any
He
rate, though, if
pointed
you
a
want me to
crossbow at Alvarina.
He stops. Jack?
To be fair, she pointed the bow
Jack?
at me. To be fair.
I don't think there's no such thing as fair in this world, my friend. You should know that firsthand. You gotta quit trying to balance the scales in your favor, because if you do, they're just gonna tip, regardless which way it goes, and it's never good for anyone. Remember that. That's one of our lessons. We had that several years ago. Don't make me repeat that study again. Though you are a little hard-headed when it comes to those moral dilemmas. Kind of like steps towards the manor, kind of like getting away from you a little bit. Like he's not trying to run from you, but he's just definitely making a hurried action to go towards the house. Now, I don't usually keep company, as he's like talking over his shoulder. But if you want to come in, I could probably prepare some tea. I mean, it'd be rude of me if I didn't offer any. If you want to continue this conversation, we could take it inside. But otherwise, I do have some minor things to kind of like clean up and just get organized. But you're welcome to stay for a little while. I would hate to be a bad host and just send you right off on your way. Is there anything else you guys need?
Oh, I suppose if we were looking to leave our name with Shishay, where would we most likely find her?
They got a
I know
guild.
she apparently has multiple tasks throughout the round.
Well, first and foremost, she lives at the manor where Lord Mian is, an up-and-coming politician of sorts. But she is currently, as I said, a secretary for the what was the name? Steel Vipers, something other. They had a very long-winded name. It didn't quite catch to me, but I usually just talk to them on a personal note.
It does sound like they need to rebrand, but I suppose that's beside the point.
Yes, they certainly do. But hey, I'm not a player, so hey, I know what I said. But at any rate, yes, if you want to go there, I could lead you there. Here, come on in for some tea. Let's sit down and we can talk about it. I'll tell you how to get there if you want to go on your own.
Oh, some tea would be delightful, and I do believe maybe Vol would appreciate the, maybe something green. As he just kind of like puts Tor probably still shaken up.
I mean, thank you for giving my bot the fucking sub. You know what? If I ever get partner, I can prevent you from ever giving my bot subs. But till then, I can't do that. But that's a goal. We're working on it. We want to get to 75 average views, but anyway.
But also, Vol would just kind of respond to that, being like, "That doesn't sound like a bad idea."
I know. I'll even write you a letter of recommendation. That way Shishay doesn't cut you at sight. And I will definitely warn her of Jack, he murmurs as he walks further in.
You really had to speak up, didn't you, Chris?
Now, Jack, don't be rude to your allies. Get in here before the door closes.
Perhaps maybe you shouldn't be pointing your weapons at every shopkeep we meet.
I've not been pointing my weapon at every shopkeep we meet. That nice girl at the formal dress place, I did not do that. No, did I? I even tipped her.
Well, you had a creepy smile after she gave you a new hat, Shella says as she walks in.
Well, apparently she likes that smile, because now she... Oh, boy.
It's just weird. I've never seen it before, but it's nice. It's nice. Strange. I just meant strange. I didn't mean creepy.
Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that's it. Eventually, you're all led into a dining room. Very nice manner for a small creature of a gnome. Definitely seems like most of this house is meant for human-sized people, but the professor has his own quirks that kind of like allow him to get in and around things, so you can kind of like see him able to clamber up things pretty easily, whether it's by his own means or something that's on him that kind of like helps him get up it mechanically. And he offers you tea, and you guys are sitting at this dining room table, kind of a regal-looking setup, and you can continue the conversation or just enjoy your tea and be on your way. Meanwhile, I think Kronk is still working on his sashimi.
It wouldn't be too much more of it.
Right. I mean, you have 45 pounds to work with. How much do you want to make?
You would have fed everyone that wanted some when they were on the ship, and he might have taken like one or two more.
I'm like, you could have served sashimi with tea.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Sashimi with tea. Hey, look, Dravo, you could join us for Sunday again. Thank you, Mitchie, for the gifted sub. And you guys you're able to have sashimi and tea, and continue the conversation. And the professor is currently writing down as he's like making a letter of recommendation for you guys. Yes, I'll get this written out here, and you just make sure you let Shishay read this as you meet her. And I'm sure she'll be more than happy to help you. I've helped that group plenty times. I'm sure the least they could do is show you the same hospitality that I've shown them. You see there, Jack? Do unto others as you have them do unto you, in a good way. That way you don't get treated wrong. That's my philosophy. Now, I know, I talk philosophy quite a bit, but hey, it's just a good way to live. It's not like I'm preaching religion. And then he finishes the letter and starts sealing it off. Here you go. And he starts to hand it to Jack, then he turns to Christopher and gives it to him.
I like to think that they both shared a look as he was being handed the letter.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, like
it's like, yeah, I understand what's happening here.
so he hands it off to Christopher. He's like, there you go. That should give you a good introduction with the folks over there at the Steel Viper. And
We can't thank you enough for your kindness.
no, that's my philosophy. You treat people with kindness, in turn, they will definitely be kind back. Am I right, Jack? Almost like he's drilling a second lesson into him.
To be fair,
Why do you keep
It's-
saying that? What have I told you about life? It's not fair.
so and why do you think I have this gruff attitude about it? Because it's not fair. And there's a whole lot of people that aren't going to be nice to you just because you're nice to them.
But that's the thing. It's not fair, and it doesn't have to be fair in the wrong way. Sometimes, if you tip the scales in a different direction by being that kindness, then maybe you'll get more out of people than you think. A leader, for instance, like a mayor or a political figure, they don't come out there and say you're an asshole, or they don't come out saying I'm going to eat your baby, do they? Though I might have voted for that one guy who said he would eat a baby. It was a goblin, mind you,
Whatever
but
you-
still. Oh,
Whatever you do,
dead
don't-
meat. Thank you for breaking my bubble here in real life. We have just been gifted 10 subs from Dead Meat. Thank you kindly for all the gifted subs. If you're one of the lucky people who got a gifted sub, well, guess what? You could join us for Sub Only Sunday. Meanwhile, Dead Meat, would you like some gacha items? I think that's 10 of them that are 5 each. That's
Later.
later. Fair enough. All right, you pretty much have an unlimited supply until I think you're out. All right. But yeah,
Yeah, perhaps you should not try to meet with any of the the mayors in Corinthia. Some of them literally give babies as tribute.
Oh, that's a joke, boy. That's a joke. Oh, yeah, in Parinthia. Yeah, that's definitely... Never mind. That's not a joke. Yeah, he's right, you know.
Like, very serious face.
To the wrong
Kronk's gonna
thing.
look. Kronk's gonna look at Jack and say, "I've always been nice to you."
That's true, but you can also kill me anytime you want. So, I mean,
That's great. I love his philosophy. Kill him with kindness. I live by that.
I
Sure.
have seen him literally hurt someone by giving them a bear hug.
Tough love, it's also in the mix. Like I said, life's not fair. And like I said, Jack, it doesn't always have to be fair. You gotta quit justifying things. And just live with how it's gonna be.
Sometimes, Jack, it only takes one person to change your life. I can tell that from
I'm-
experience.
You know, it's still, you have to understand, no, I understand you're a little hard-headed and philosophy is not your expertise, but I forgive you. I think you're going to be a good boy. Don't you worry. I have faith in anything that you can do. You got this, Jack. Kind of like pats you on the shoulder.
Wait, how
Thanks.
tall is this gnome?
Literally had like a mechanical thing lift him up high enough, and then he pat him on the shoulder and then went back down.
No, I want to
Something-
think that he had like a bag of holding with a stepladder inside of it, and just like pulled it out. stepped up.
No. His tool belt, like, you open it up, there's nothing there, right? But whenever he did that, like, arms of mechanical came around his waist and just lifted him up. It's like a bag of holding in his tool belt of tricks and things that he's got. So he mechanically, like, floated up in the air, pats you on the shoulder, lowers down.
See, Dad, he also likes a box of holding.
But at any rate, I will not waste any further of your time. If you have places to go and people to see, I would not want to keep you any longer than you need to. By all means, I am looking forward to hearing what Shishe has to say about your meeting.
So, Jack, is there anything else you'd like to say to the professor? Or has our business concluded?
I want to learn how to fly this airship.
I'll teach you tomorrow.
Right. Right.
But I think you should go over there and pay a visit to Shishay.
Yes, it would probably be best to catch her before she leaves the office. If assuming there's an office?
Oh,
No, it's
yes,
a
yes,
guild,
yes.
there has to be an
Let me
office.
check the time. Yeah, you probably got about 30 minutes to get over there if you want to catch her. It's like getting close to 4:30. Pulls out a pocket watch. With the entire crew gone, she might leave early, so you might want to check it out as soon as you're able. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till the morning.
So, yes, of course. I guess Christopher will turn to the others. I don't know, should we all go together, or do you have other business you all would like to attend to?
I mean, I have a brewery to go visit, but that's something that can wait till later this evening.
I would love to go to a brewery too.
Not that kind of brewery.
Oh, if you plan to go to the brewery, I highly suggest you get there before they close as well, because it's pretty sealed up after night.
You know, Kronk, I think I'll join you if we go find a brewery. And any kind of that. I think I need a drink.
I think I need to challenge you to another drinking contest.
Go see Shishay first, so.
Yes. Yes, dear.
Oh god,
Christopher.
that's gonna be an awkward walk.
I think there's something weird going on between the two of them. You just called her a deer. Does that mean she's gonna grow antlers?
Turns out she's a tiefling! No, I'm joking.
There's actually
Mhm.
I don't think it's an actual race on the books that we have, but I think there's like a deer-like race that you can actually play as. Like a fauna or something. I don't know. Anyway, forget it.
Closest you get might be would technically be a satyr, but that's not a deer.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe a shapeshifter, I don't know.
Oh yeah, with
Anyway,
shifters, like it could be anything.
yeah. You could be anything with a shifter, but no, I think there was like a homebrew that I saw somewhere. Anyway, that's a different story. We'll get back to that. But we have plenty of time to go see Shishay, because that's kind of like what I want to see next. What do you guys want to see? Like the brewery too is interesting. Like we can do either one first, or how do we want to do this?
I want to see the very awkward walk with Christopher and, Jack.
And you guys allowed them to walk by themselves as you go to the brewery. All right, fair enough.
Well, it depends if Shishay's joining us. I'm sorry, not Shishay, Shella.
Oh, where should I go? Where will I get in the least trouble? I don't know who wants her to go. Like, you guys start walking. I'll just do a random roll and see who she follows. But otherwise, if you want her to go a certain direction, you got to tell her. Yep. All right. 1, we go up. 2, we go down. We go to the brewery. So she just kind of like latches on to Kronk as you guys separate. And Kronk, you take your time wherever you feel like. And then all of a sudden you see that Shella too is taking her time. Like she doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get anywhere right now.
Gronk will kind of like lift her up and swing her around a little bit in a
Oh.
playful way.
Oh, thanks, Kronk. Didn't expect that. She kind of lightens up a little. And yeah,
Hi.
let's go ahead.
I hope you have fun tonight.
I hope so too, Kronk. I was expecting to find Prod, but he's probably on the ocean or something. I wish there was a way we could check. Like some way to spy on him from afar. Like really get down on our hands and knees and scry into this situation. I wish there was a way we could do that.
I don't think I can do that yet. Maybe
Oh,
someday.
oh, don't worry about it, Kronk. I was just thinking out loud.
We will ask Jack if he knows any wizards in the area that are able to do that.
Sorry, just having that scene with Alvarina play out again. All right, but yeah, she just kind of like offers you a smile, tries to cheer up because she notices you trying to cheer up, and she just kind of like, thanks, Grok, I appreciate it. And you guys continue along your way. Arthur and Vol, are you saying anything along the way?
Oh. Now, I should probably warn you all, please do not stab anybody inside this brewery.
I'll vouch for that.
Or shoot at them.
Why?
Or actually, don't question why we're going here anyways, just...
Well, now
I'll
that
get
you
my
said
idea.
that, I kind of want to question it, you know?
Oh
I
God.
just wanted a drink. Why would I need to stab someone?
But no reason in particular. Maybe they try to rob you or something, but just whatever you do, don't do that, please.
Looks at her, like, armored up body with, like, a shield, and it's like, I'll keep an eye out, yes. I'll make sure they don't rob me.
I'm not getting inside right now, but anyways.
I love the fact
So
that
yeah.
you don't know how this place works and you're being so damn cautious. Ah, beautiful. All right.
I mean, going to a potential thieves guild. I'm always
Mm.
cautious around there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame
If it helps you out, Arthur, I'll whip him into shape. Patan on whip.
you.
I think we're good with that. Anyways, he is going to lead them towards the brewery that he was told that would be a place of interest for him.
Yep. So, lovely fact. The brewery is directly across the street from the very tavern that you're sleeping at. And let me see here. I should be able to give you some more information here as soon as I bring up my notes.
You know, I never realized how close that was.
It was, I literally told you about it as soon as you came into town, but the Bullseye Brewery, home of... Okay, I don't say that part. Yeah, you see this brewery that has like a bullseye sign. There's a, like, it's fenced in, like a big old iron gate goes around the property. And it's a pretty decent sized building, but it's one story from the front. And then there's like a bigger story off to the back end, like where they might have like a loading dock or something. But as you enter into the front, you see a well dressed man with several tables that are like up to the elbow length where you can like stand at. And there are a few well dressed individuals in this location who are trying out wines. And this gentleman who's dressed up like a butler type person kind of like goes around and pours a little drink for them to sample. And then he turns his attention to the group that just came in and, welcome. Please come in. Have a, what can I interest you all in? Would you like to try some special wines? Welcome to the brewery.
I usually prefer ales. Do you
Oh,
have any?
yes, we have some very lovely, well-aged ale as well. Are you familiar with honeydew ale?
I've never had the dew from honey before.
Well, it's a lovely sample. Here, I'll tell you what, I'll get you a sample, and if you're interested, you can buy a few bottles. And
I
he'll,
would be very interested.
yeah, he goes and grabs you, like, he grabs several sampling glasses. They look like stem glasses, like you would see for, like, drinking wines. And he fills it up part way with this golden liquor. And he says, give that a taste. Let me know how it feels to you, and I will see if I can get you some if you're interested.
Thank you very much.
The name is Jasper, by the way, and it's my pleasure to be of service to any and all. What can I do for the rest of you? Let me guess. It kind of looks at Foe. A white wine, perhaps?
Oh, how did you know?
I'm just guessing, but if I'm wrong, I don't like being patronized either. So here's a question: Insight check. Are you lying?
I'm not!
Oh, then I'm just that good. All right. So he goes, but yes, a white wine looks like it would definitely liven you up. Here, try this one. And he goes and grabs a certain blend, pours you a small stem glass full of it, and hands it over. Looking over at Arthur, look like one that would like the darker liquors.
Yes, you could say that. Perhaps and he's going to lean in somewhat closer. Perhaps maybe the dark and muddy type.
Are
Which
you
was
in
Thieves'
Thieves?
Cant.
That was in
Yeah.
Thieves Camp. What were you trying to say in Thieves Camp?
Basically trying to hint that
He's saying that he
basically
likes his men
Just,
dark and
just,
dirty.
just, just remember, you said only a few words, so it can't be too complicated.
talking about the underground.
Ah, um,
See if he maybe picks up on it.
he replies back to you, and what they hear is like, a dark and muddy drink. Let me get to it, and it'll be on the top shelf. You'll just have to stay there for a moment and let me see to its vintage. And basically, it kind of like translate like, you may have found the right place, but you are a stranger amongst us. Allow me to find someone who can supervise this. And
Of course.
yeah, he looks like he's going to a top shelf, and he pulls down a dark, jar of. It's one of those like crystal pegged looking wine glasses or whatnot, and it's like a green bottle. And then he uncorks it, and this little black liquor kind of like pours out, and he offers it to you, Arthur. And then he plucks it back up, puts it back where it was. If you will all just excuse me for a moment, I need to check with the missus. There's a special order coming in, and I should definitely make sure it is high time for that. There was broken thieves' can in there saying 1 moment while I get the manager, pretty much.
Okay.
It's like, what's
And
your
he's
name, by
got-
the way?
sure.
Karen?
No. I've met a few Karens, and I can't say I appreciate their manner. They act like they know more than me, and it's quite insulting. But I shall return but a moment, and if... Wait a minute. You're not here, Christopher. Get the fuck out.
I am everywhere, Star.
No, you're not. Get out of here. You're going north. They're going south. All right. You threw me a curveball, and I was ready to run with it, but I'm not running. All right. So anyway, he dismisses himself and heads down the hallway, and you guys have a moment to yourself. And there's a few other people around who look like they have money. Like they are definitely here to buy some special wines, and they're here just to kind of like get a sample going. So you can see some jovial people, like a man and a woman who are drinking together, trying to decide. And there's actually a young couple who are like trying to decide the perfect vintage to bring to their wedding. There's a wedding talks over there. But other than that, you guys are left to the room for about a couple minutes. Is there anything you guys want to do besides the drinking, or?
So, Kronk, how does that drink taste to you?
I'm not sure if I taste the dew in it.
It is very sweet going down, though.
There's definitely honey, but I do not know about the dew.
You're not really pulling out the mace, are you? Am I reading that mace late or what? Sorry, I saw
Not
your.
to stab anyone.
No. I'm just seeing that you pulled it out. I'm like, okay, this could be interesting both ways. All right, cool.
He has the mace ready at least.
Yeah, I'll give him that. All right.
Usually the sword by the scimitar's by the side. Now it's mixed.
Yeah. So yeah, and you guys are sampling this. Arthur, do you drink the liquor that you have?
I'll sip at it a little bit, just trying to be a little bit more refined, try to blend in a little bit.
Perfect.
I can sense a concept coming.
Yep, you feel a little woozy. Like this drink hit you really hard, like way too hard, way too early. And Jasper returns, and he kind of goes over to Arthur and says, The mistress will see you now, or the in Thieves' Camp, but like whenever he says it, the manager will see you. And he kind of like leads Arthur away from you. You kind of see Arthur stumble for a second, and then Arthur, you're taken to the back room. There's like this hallway that goes, and it's kind of spinning a little bit, but you know you're still you still have all your senses. Like if you got into a fight right now, you have no disadvantages whatsoever. But you can feel this sensation, like your ears are ringing a little bit, your vision's getting a little shaky, and he leads you down this hallway, and it kind of like echoes each step. You can hear it almost as if time is making sure you hear each step as you walk. You're led into an office, and behind the office, we see a mysteriously dressed woman. She has a cloak over her blonde hair, and her eyes look at you, and she puts a vial on the table, and she says, "If you want the cure, the antidote, you better tell me what the fuck you want in my place." And you're sat down into a chair, Arthur. Jasper
He kind of
bows.
stops.
Yeah, Jasper bows and says, "I'll be outside, ma'am." So, stands up, takes the vial off the table. Walk right into a nest, have we? You seem very influential in knowing the talk and the chant and the words, so I assume you're not from the shadows. Where are you from?
More. Oh,
Timor,
that's
huh?
way too hard.
She puts the vial like through her bosom, like she's hiding it from you, but you can clearly see the cork there. And then she pulls a dagger out from underneath her cape and just kind of like spins it at the tip of her finger. I have so many problems right now. So tell me, and she stabs the dagger right in front of you. Are you a problem, or are you a solution?
Well, oh, hey, that was I have been known to stab people for payments from time to time. Generally, don't come back from that, but
Hmm.
if you need assistance with something,
Well,
well, I have been retired for some years. I am willing to assist.
here's my problem. I have several problems, and it sounds like you're going to be a problem, and maybe not for long. That lovely concoction Jasper fed you earlier, it's a slow working poison, and it should be slowly kicking in. But, you know, like I said, I have the antidote. Just want to let you know, I don't like people coming in that I don't know anything about. I don't like surprises. I don't like invaders. I don't like people who dig where they shouldn't. What is your purpose here? What are you looking for? What do you want? And by the way,
Information.
you should probably tell me everything in a short, concise way because you got 5 minutes before your bowels start to turn inside out.
That sounds absolutely disgusting. I am looking for an elf and maybe a gang as well. The gang's not particularly important to me, but the elf is.
You'll have to be more specific than that, honey.
Hi, elf. Likes to think she's better than everybody else. I know, very descriptive.
Didn't you already get her above table?
No, that was the tiefling.
Yeah, but oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. There's two targets here, aren't there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was focused on a different one, but anyway, resume.
Yeah.
Looking for elves.
What?
There's a few in
Yes.
town, but that doesn't answer anything. Does the elf have a name?
She does. She goes by the name of Eleonara, assuming that's what she's still sticking with.
Hmm.
She has a signet ring of a dragon wrapped around a sword, and her reputation as a. What's
Sure.
the word I prefer to use?
Short and concise. Let me remind you.
Fair point. I'll just be blunt. She has a penchant for torturing people, dragging information out.
Sounds like someone we would hire. But I don't know this, Eleanor. Not a lot of elves are interested in our line of work. But are you offering a reward for information? Remember, short and concise.
If the work isn't enough, so I'm assuming you have someone you want to go down. I
Uh,
also have gold.
let's hear the monetary value of this information. Short and concise, keep in mind. Flicks the
Around
file.
5,000 gold.
Do you have the coins on you?
Currently, yes.
I'm just gonna check your pouch real quick. She kind of like comes over there. You're still a little woozy, and she kind of like checks to see, like, check the weight. Make sure you're not lying to her. Make a
Oh, it's all back.
persuasion check though, because I need this for like the general conversation.
Okay. Also,
Yeah,
just
what?
keep in mind the
All
money's
right.
in the bag of holding, so.
All right. Well, she sees that you have a bag of holding, and she goes, ah. She hands you a vial. It has like a yellow liquid in it, and then she gives it to you. Well, you better hurry up and drink that before your bowels flip.
It's gonna be rough. And he's gonna
Mm.
down it all.
Yep. Yeah. And slowly but surely,
Haha,
like
that just made it faster.
Haha, you're dead now. Anyway, no. Like, it's not an accelerant. But she kind of like smirks and says, well, now that I feel that I could trust you, and that you so easily allowed me to examine and basically had my way with you, I will consider your offer. You're looking for an Eleanor, you said. I could put some men on it. It will require down
Eleanor,
payment.
yes.
Yes. Give me a description of what she looks like, to the best of your knowledge. What's her profession? And, she's just basically asking you for a deep detail of who this person is. And I will send some very skilled people to go look into this for you.
Well, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, like, you don't have to tell it all to her right now. Like, we could say you give the information, and then she just asks you for $1,000 for, or 1,000 gold down payment.
of course. Blondish hair, not really any
Mm-hmm.
distinguishing features. Actually, this is gonna
Really?
be extremely weird for you. And
Really?
he's just flat out going
Oh,
to
yeah.
try and change into her.
Well, I've seen that trick a few times from certain people. Had a disguise.
He's going to try and push up on his hair. No, actually, it's rather a very interesting thing.
Oh, you're one of those. Fair enough. You can insight check that if you want.
Yes, definitely, yes.
You're
Yeah,
one of
I
those carnies.
Yeah. You're one of those
By
freaks.
advantage?
Sure, go ahead. And I was
I'm
gonna
just breaking
do.
everything today.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
go
for
ahead.
it. You can reroll. I was gonna start with Shisha, but this just kind of like rolled naturally. I like this right now, so we'll do this and then we'll get into that on the way out. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, we got time. All right. Yeah, you could tell that she is probably familiar with changelings. Like, she didn't come out directly saying changelings, but she's like, "Oh, you're one of those." Like, if you rolled that 8, I would have said, "Yeah, she thinks you're a carny." Fair enough. It seems you have talents of your own. For now, though, we will use monetary value as a way of working at this moment. I still don't trust you.
Of course.
You have no idea how much is going on right now, and I have to deal with more work. Ugh. Okay. I have the information, and that's what she looks like, huh? Very well.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, and as you're in that form, she is drawing a picture of you. And it turns out really well. Fair enough. I have an image of you now. You could take your leave. You know the way out. And by the way,
Of course.
no word of this poison shall escape your lips, otherwise I will resign this job.
Of course. I understand our work is a bit
Yes, and I have to make sure that any other vipers that come into my nest don't attack me before they get here. Feigning being whatever. Anyway, please leave.
He is going to change, walk back, and on his way out, he is going to be wondering what the hell he just got himself into. This was not
welcome,
thought out at all.
welcome to the shadows, my friend. I've had plenty of time to put together all the nicks and tricks for this group. Though I will say the poison was a little bit more on the spot. That was fun. So yeah, we see Arthur return as you guys are enjoying your drinks, and Jasper came out earlier. He's like, "Did you want the ale or no? Or did you want some white wine to go home with, ma'am? And I'm sure your friend's coming back here shortly. Oh, nothing possibly could go wrong back there. The mistress is just talking to him about some silly little chat that they had."
I wouldn't mind having a bottle of this, but do you have any of older vintage stuff? Maybe about 20 years?
You're one of those. A connoisseur? Milady,
Let's
please,
just.
I forgive me if I have known. I wouldn't have wasted your time with the top stock. Please allow me. And he'll go to a lower shelf and he kind of like looks at the labels and he'll pull out a older vintage, about 30 years. Now this bottle here I cannot allow you to sample, but I guarantee you, its freshness of what it is intact and very, very potent, very palatable as well. Goes for about 30 gold, though.
That's alright with me. I would love to have that bottle since I want to see what, one of my relatives thought of the drinks like were in the past,
Can I share a secret with you, milady?
Please
This
do.
this here bottle of vintage of white wine is one of the base constructions of what we call, and don't laugh, but we call it the good shit. It's definitely the bottom line construction of it. So please, by all means, 30 gold and it's yours, my lady, and I hope you enjoy it to its fullest. Well, when I say
Thank you
fresh, I meant the
kindly.
flavor, not the actual fermentation process.
What would you call this wine star?
It is unnamed, like it's just a white wine that has been aged. We can call it the 14.
They call it white girl wasted.
Okay, sure, that works.
Alright, I'm gonna type in white girl wasted.
I'll have to make a note. Because I can't come up with a name. Like, I've been too busy worried about the other stuff, like the actual stuff, but now I gotta worry about this. Got it.
Okay, I come up with dumb shit all the time.
The visor to the good shit. White girl wasted. Got it. Alright, my friends. So yeah, as you guys finish drinking, we now zoom out. Unless Arthur wants to say anything to the group as he returns.
Nope, he's just gonna have a look of God damn it, and that'll be that.
Well, you don't want me as a rogue in your party, do you? Does anybody want me to play Smiley in one of their games? Huh? Anybody? Anybody at all? No? Okay.
I thought you were gonna try to play a level 21 in my thing, but you were like, nah, you roll for me. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, no. I kind of like having something. We'll talk about it after game. That was more of a joke, though. But yeah. So we're going to zoom out. We're walking awkwardly to the guild house that you were told about. Is there a conversation between Jack and Christopher as the two of you are walking alone?
There's easily a 5 to 10 foot distance between them, probably.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Now, I just asked because
moving forward, stand forward.
Yeah, Jack, anything you talking about, or are you just staying quiet?
The more you tell people that I point weapons to them or and stuff like that, the more I kind of want to just shoot you myself. You see how that works?
So here's the
Don't-
glorious thing.
don't
This
you
is why I
think
wanted to ask
that-
this.
that-
Yeah, I'll let you finish
Okay.
that comment, but here's the thing: as Jack finishes that sentence, you guys are really like directly right outside that Gill house. It was no more than a half a block away from Smithers Mons.
And don't you think that instinct is the reason why I'm concerned you keep doing it?
Well, maybe you should stop doing it, so I stop wanting to shoot you.
Or maybe we could just eliminate the problem to begin with, and you just don't do it to begin with.
Nah, you just need to shut your trap.
And you
As
need
you're-
some people skills as he like starts walking through the front door.
Yeah, yeah. And as you walk into the foyer, very familiar to old people in Sunday's game, but for those who don't know, there's a open office that has like several rooms that branch off, and in this office area with a very fanciful desk, filing cabinet system, and all kinds of special treatment that a clerk of this nature takes advantage of. You guys see a pink-haired woman that you met briefly with Pyra at the spa. We see Shishe, who is just finishing up some paperwork and looks up and goes, "Oh, what do you guys want?"
So, oh yes, so as he just like awkwardly still trying to put some space between himself and Jack. I'm sorry. We were sent here by Professor Smithersmon. He said that perhaps you could assist us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
As he kind of hands out the letter.
Oh, yeah. She opens the letter, takes a quick reading. She stares at Jack for a moment. Goes back to the letter. Make a perception check.
Both of us?
But yep, both of you. No assistance. This is individuality. Okay, that's perfect. That's what I need from Jack. Christopher, you don't hear this, but Jack, you could have sworn you heard a blade come out of its sheath.
Have I attuned to this wand yet?
I don't know. You've been dilly-dallying for an hour yet? I mean, if you wanted to use the boat, the airship, and the tea, yeah, I'd say you can attune to it.
Okay. I'll just add that real quick.
The only thing it wouldn't be, is your arcane firearm, since that needs to be done over a long rest.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I mean, just
Sure,
equipping it for that might actually be like I don't think is it a wand of war mage? I don't think you have to attune to it. You just use it and you have the stats.
I think
The issue is that
It's
how
something
artificers
Yeah,
cast
okay.
their magic, like
Okay,
all
so
of
then-
them require tools
Yeah.
for a special thing.
Right. So then it's your feet. Okay, gotcha. No problem. I was just saying. All right. So yeah, you turn it into a gun, you bastard. No. But yeah. So Shishe, with that perception check, you can see her eyes narrowing on Jack. Like at least Jack notices it. So, what do you need?
That's yes, we were I suppose for context, we came as maybe we came to this city and looking for an individual that is known by one of our number, and while we didn't find them with Smithersmon, we were thinking that perhaps what was the name? Dr. Soraboro, yes. Might have some insights, or perhaps even encountered them at some point.
What's the doctor to you?
To none to me personally.
Are you a patient? Did you sign the waiver?
No. Waiver?
Why are you
Listen.
asking about the doctor?
Listen, we just know that a kobold was on his way to meet with the professor, but he hasn't shown up yet. Professor thought maybe the kobold found his way to this doctor instead. So, try to get a name, try to figure out if the doctor had run into this kobold.
You say kobold, I know a few. What is the name of this kobold?
Well, I don't remember that. Christopher, what was the name of the kobold?
Prod, and no, it's not the Vizier individual.
She breathes a sigh of relief. Thank God. No, I don't believe there's been a prod that has come in here. Have you tried the arena? Maybe they think they're brave enough to fight?
No, I do believe, unless I'm mistaken, the inclination was to serve as a mentor of sorts to someone of that sort of ability.
Well, the doctor doesn't teach people that aren't on campus, and I don't think this kobold is here, so he's probably not coming here. I would have notes of it if it were supposed to be someone to be expected. I'm the one that does the hiring. Are you looking for jobs?
What's the full name of this doctor?
I am at full disclosure to only tell you that his name is Dr. Soraboro. Did you sign the waiver?
Insight.
You can make
Can
an
I
insight.
insight?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
alright. Soft 20.
She is definitely telling you the truth in the nature of that she is obligated to only be calling him Dr. Soraboro to anybody who asks.
Okay. Have you heard of, perhaps you or your short borough have heard of, another doctor by the name of Genome? A Yanti as well.
She kind of reacts in a way like she's absorbing the information. This one's going to require an insight.
Another insight.
Yep.
That's not 20.
Now, here's the thing. She tells you flatly, and her monotone voice says no. But because she took so long to answer you, you can almost tell that she's not telling you the full truth.
Gonna reach back and just put a hand on the wand. Not taking it out, but just putting a hand on it. Are you sure?
Yes?
I heard that little blade earlier. Are you sure?
She stands up from her chair, and you can already see her in a fighting style position. Yes?
Jack, we literally had a discussion about this not even a minute ago.
Genome and Soroboro are the same, aren't they?
I'm not obligated to tell you anything.
That's not a no.
And you're a stranger.
I'm a bounty hunter.
And you, who are you? Kind of like looking over to Christopher.
It's like I've already
Are
introduced
you an
myself earlier.
Are you an innocent bystander?
Am I about to be an innocent bystander to a fight? Because I'm not sure if I can really abide by that.
I need to know, because I'd hate to have to hurt both of you.
Jack, I believe that we should leave.
You tell your little doctor that I'm coming for him. If it wasn't for that damn rumor mill of his, he wouldn't be having me coming. And he's gonna wish he was never born. You understand?
If this was the doctor you speak of, then maybe your words will get to him. Now, if you have no further business, I suggest you leave.
Jack is gonna slowly turn and start to head towards the door, but keeping an eye on Shishay.
And as you kind of like keep an eye on him, like this one assistant comes out from the side. Hey, Shishay, I've got this weird gargoyle statue that I need to set somewhere over in the other shop. Is it ready yet? Shishay just kind of like slowly lets the sword fall back into its sheath, sets it aside. Over there, points it to another room, and he's like, okay, thank you. And the assistant just walks off with this awkward face-like gargoyle statue that looked like it should have been something else, but it's already made to look like a gargoyle. And walks into the other room nearby, still listening and whistling. But what do you do?
Christopher just turns to Shisha. My sincerest apologies. I don't know. Well, I do know why he acts like this, but also I don't.
Then I'd suggest you both leave while you have your heads.
So, of course, apologies for disturbing. Good evening. As he starts making his way outside.
Okay. So you guys make your way out. And let's see here, what are we looking at? Yeah, I think that's a good place to end. So as you guys like get out, like you do have a moment where you can say something to each other. But I assume you want to head to the tavern at this point or no?
Yeah, just before we go, Jack is gonna look at Christopher. If it is that snake that I've been going after, don't get in my way. Don't try to speak for me. Do you understand?
Could you just, at the very least, leave others out of your business if it gets messy?
If they're gonna protect that snake, I can make no promises.
Alright, so as you guys make your way back to the tavern, the camera kind of like zooms back into a shaken Shishay, though we never really seen her shaken before. She goes into the other room and she goes, Igor? Yes, ma'am? Thanks. For what? You kind of saved me, but don't let that get to your head. Have a good night. Don't stay too late. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And he goes back to his work. And that's where we'll end the session. Yeah, how about that? It's been a very interesting night. Okay, I won't start the next battle, guys. Sorry, guys. We will not start any more StreamRaiders. we're cutting out of here. All right, so join us next week, 7 p.m. Central, where we will play some more D&D on Monday. And these guys, boy, we're going to figure out if Sunday's going to have to clash with them soon or not. But then again, Sunday's got to get home, so... that starts 7 p.m. every Monday, all the way to about this time. Join us this Wednesday for Curse Estrad. We're still working our way to that dinner meeting, and it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. Friday is our open roleplay, so if you've been enjoying the stream, if you've been enjoying these characters, some of these guys have a character on Friday. So if you want to play with the cast, some of them, you can join us from Friday. It's an open roleplay, which means you can come in whenever you're available or whenever. Drop in, drop out, whenever you have time. It starts at 5 p.m. Central. Come a little early if you need to make a new character, and we'll get you all set up. So that's a fun, interactive way for us to play with our viewers. Sunday is a sub-only campaign, and it's kind of tied into Monday's story now, too. But if you want to catch the full details of what's happening in the background of this story, join us on Sundays at 12 p.m. as either a player or a viewer. We'd love to have you come by and check it out, and you can get the insights of what's happening on both sides of the camera. Though I would say Jack should not be watching Sunday, because that'd be a little disappointing if he doesn't get his way in this game. So, I don't know. I'm kidding. Anyway, appreciate the views. Either way, Yeah, we got a charity coming up in May. It's going to be a week-long event. We're going to try to figure out what times we're going to start those. Like, I do feel like it's going to have to be a consistent time, like maybe 6 p.m. till whenever, or maybe we start a little early, but we'll get that ironed out in the weeks to come. But we have in the Twitch pick panels down below and Facebook, once again, I'm sorry, all the interactions are on the Twitch channel. But if you go down below to the Twitch panels, you can see several charities, worthy charities. I believe Wounded Warrior is winning right now, but St. Jude's on there, a few others. We did a charity for St. Jude's back around the 12th of December, and looking forward to picking a new one here in the next week or so. So get those votes. Please help us decide what charity to support. Other than that, I think that's all my announcements, other than Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays being my days off. If I find it in me to stream, I'll be streaming over at We Rise as One. I know I've been a little sporadic and not doing it like in a full-time suit, but you know, it's kind of a part-time thing for me, so I try to do it when I can. So join me over at We Rise as One whenever I'm available. Yeah, that's the end of my announcements. You guys have a good night, and I'll let these guys say goodnight to Twitch and Facebook. Say goodnight, my friends.
Good night.
Good night.
Night,
Good night.
y'all.
Vol, did you want to say goodnight?
I thought I said goodnight. Did you not
No.
hear me?
I did not hear you. That's why I asked.
Alright, let me try again.
Okay. And with that, do you hear the calling? The chaotic calling. Stay tuned. We're going to raid somebody.